Hello and welcome to Networking for Introverts. It's January 18th, 2024, the first call of 2024. Yay! Angela, thank you so much for being here with me live. And if you are watching the recording, go ahead and watch it and then comment below and let us know if any of these tips are helpful or if you have any helpful tips that you can share with the rest of us. So today we're going to be talking about overcoming your winter blues and how we can do that and enjoy the winter blues, or to avoid the winter blues, or if you get into that rut, how we can get ourselves out of it much more quickly instead of staying there and having your thoughts spiral out of control like a lot of us introverts do. So the other day, actually a few days ago, I had my email open and I was looking through actually I wasn't even looking for ideas, but I came across the JuicePlus newsletter, and it was called Unveiling Your Best Self 2024 edition. And so they had something about helping you to get through the winter blues. And I was like, oh, that's a really good topic because I just got back from vacation and being in sunny Arizona. And thankfully, I'm in Illinois. And thankfully, the last 3 or 4 days, it's been sunny. But usually during the wintertime, we just get a lot of gloom and doom. So I'm grateful for the sunshine. But those days where it is cloudy for several days, this inspired me to share this because I do feel like even today, I've been inside all day, doing a little bit of work and some laundry and cleaning up and stuff before my call. And I was kind of like having that spiral where I just had my thoughts go out of control a little bit, and I had to reel myself back in and do a little prayer time before I jumped on the call. And of course, my dear friend Angela here always helps to cheer me up. So thank you for that.
You.
So yeah, when I was reading this newsletter, I was like, oh, this is great. So I took some of the tips that they shared in there, and then I kind of tweaked them and added a little bit of my own flair to share the information with you today. Let's see. So I think that I have five tips to share, and I'll go through them and then I'll ask Angela to give a little bit of feedback or anything that stands out to her. So the first one is get in the light to lift your mood. And as I was reading a little bit more about getting into the light, I'm sure people have heard of getting either a light box or one of those light sunlight lamps that helps with the SAD, the what does that stand for? I just lost it. Um, Something about being inside and being dark and depressed during the wintertime.
I
I
wish
can't
I knew
remember.
what that was. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, you live in Arizona now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you kind of avoided that.
Yeah, I feel like it's quasi unfair to say anything.
No, it's okay because you have the opposite though in the summertime. You have like the blazing sun.
Yes, that is different. But
Yeah,
I did
so
live in Chicago or Illinois most of my life, so I can
right.
remember.
Yeah, you remember and you know.
Yeah.
So, so getting one of those light lamps or even just getting outside, even on those gloomy days, like forcing yourself to get outside and just get some fresh air and whatever light there is. For me, I'm super grateful because the part of the light that I get for my Zoom calls is my tower garden right next to me. And I will just pan over just to show how amazing it looks. I know I created a video the other day, but I was gone for 4 weeks and it just grew like crazy. So the natural light that I get from my tower garden, because it's LED lights that are on about 12, 13 hours a day, that helps me when I come in here and it's just like bright sunshine in this bedroom. it makes me more happy. And plus, I'm growing my own food and it's clean and it's healthy. And anytime I need to pick a salad or add a little garnish to my dinner or lunch, it's right here. And I grow it year round indoors, so it's perfect. So not only to plug the tower garden, but it gives me the natural sunlight for when it's gloomy here. So that's my bonus for getting light. And then the second one is to feel comfortable, warm, and cozy. For me, I drink warm tea or warm liquids throughout the day. Especially I start my mornings with tea. My husband gets up a few minutes before I do, and he turns on the tea kettle, the electric tea kettle. So when I get into the kitchen, all I have to do is pour the hot water over my tea bag and I'm ready for my day. And of course, during the winter time, you get that deep chill sometimes. So I'll continue warming up some water and drinking warm liquids throughout the day. And then after hours, you can drink a hot toddy, or as my friend calls it, a bourbon tea. And really, one is all you need. And so actually, I was looking it up because one of my friends, she's the one that recommended the bourbon tea. And I was like, I know I've heard of the hot toddy. So I looked it up and it's the exact same recipe. It's hot water, bourbon, or you can, if you don't like bourbon, you could use um rum, or what's the other brown liquid or brown liqueur? I forget.
The
Well,
whiskey?
anyway, what?
Whiskey? I don't know.
Whiskey and bourbon are basically the same
Oh,
thing. I
are
forget.
they? Oh,
There's another one that they recommended on the recipe, but it's basically water, whiskey, honey, and lemon. And I can always put the recipe that I found in the link, but yeah, it's really good not only to soothe your throat, but like if you are having a scratchy throat or like sinus issues, it helps to clear up the sinuses and to relax your body. Obviously, if you're taking cold medicine, alcohol and cold medicine don't mix, so choose one or the other. But even if you are feeling good and you just want to relax in front of the TV at night or while you're playing a game on the weekends, that's a really good, great drink to chill out with your loved ones or around a party. Also, soups and stews. You can make your own, or if you go to the stores, they usually have homemade soups that you can buy in little containers and just bring home and warm up. Of course, when you have a little bit more time on the weekends, you can get all the fixins for a stew or a soup and just stand over that warm boiling pot of deliciousness, and then you get to enjoy it later. So that helps to warm up the body from the inside out. And then, of course, dressing warm, even when you're inside, putting on nice thick fuzzy socks and cozy PJs and fuzzy blankets. And for me, when I go outside, especially the last few days, it was in the negative temperatures. Thankfully, hopefully we're out of the out of that the really cold temperatures, but we live in Chicago, so who knows? But I like to layer up, so I wear like long sleeves under my coat. I put on a scarf and a hat and gloves. I don't like any of my skin being exposed to the cold. So being nice and warm and cozy um and bundled up, that's what I like. The third one is eating real food. I know when we're stuck inside for the long winter, we tend to want to eat more, which is good because in the wintertime we do. We are supposed to put on a little more calories, especially when it's cold, so that we can endure the cold. But a lot of times we choose the wrong foods. And if you choose more fruits and vegetables, um, obviously those are the real things. Um, it's it's better for your body. I take JuicePlus every day. Those are my little capsules, the freeze-dried fruits and vegetables in the capsule. But of course, that's really good for supplementing and for keeping the immune system healthy. But of course, eating the real thing is important. Plus, we want to get those good kind of calories into our body. And of course, because wintertime, we don't have, especially in the Midwest, we don't have the ability to grow fruits and vegetables outside. We need to choose frozen foods. And those are always good substitutions because a lot of times they will pick it at peak ripeness and freeze it right away. So it locks in the nutritional value. My favorite root vegetable combination is from Whole Foods. It's like carrots and sweet potato, and there's a couple other, and there's some red onion, and they're all chopped up into little bite-sized pieces. So I throw those in the air fryer with a little bit of avocado oil and seasonings, and I get those nice and hot and a little crispy. And you can have that as a side dish or, just a little snack to warm up from the inside out. And then, of course, my Tower Garden greens are always fresh. So that's always good. Although I can't really grow lemons or oranges on my Tower Garden, the greens are always fresh. And then the fourth one is exercise and move your body. And this one helps me to stay warm, especially when it's really cold or you come in from the outside and you just are chilled to the bone. Putting on those nice, comfy, warm clothes and fuzzy socks, and then move my body. I like to exercise in the morning, but then throughout the day, when it's cold, I like to move a little bit more, whether I just do a few stretches or I take 5 minutes, in between my calls, or if I'm, working from home and I'm just running back and forth, I'll kind of move my arms a little bit more or stand in the living room and do some arm circles and some squats and stretch my legs and my arms and my body. And that helps to warm me up from the inside out too. So you can try that if you get a little chilly throughout the day. You can stand up and do, I wrote down, take 5 minutes to stand, do 10 arm circles forward, 10 arm circles back, 10 squats. You can move through some stretches like some runner's lunges, some hip flexor and hamstring stretches. And then, of course, breathe through all of that. And then you'll feel warmer when you go back and sit down at your desk for the next task. And then the last one I want to share is connection is key, and continue talking to people. Whether you get together with friends in person, of course, that's best because you can hug and you can connect with them. But if you're not able to connect in person, do some phone calls or video chats. Those help too. Because like I mentioned before, when you're in isolation or by yourself, sometimes you get a little depressed or your thoughts spiral out. So getting on the phone with someone, getting on a Zoom call like this with someone that inspires you, it helps to just bring a smile to your face and make you happy from the inside out. And so if you are a business owner or if you, need to network, take the time to schedule some Zoom calls to network with other people on those snowy, cold days where you're not wanting to drive 30 minutes. Or if you don't know what's going to happen next week because it could be icy or snowy or whatever, schedule those Zoom calls. That way you can do it from the comfort of your own home and no one has to trek out into the ice or snow or risk their life. Just do a little call. I took Tuesday to do this, so I didn't have to leave my house on Tuesday until the late afternoon, which was good because it was one of those really cold -10 days. So I took the morning and I reached out to some people. I scheduled some calls in the next couple weeks. So I'm good to go. So those are really good ways to continue networking through the cold months. So those are the 5 tips to help you get through the cold winter months, the winter blues with some ease and energy. Angela, I'd love to hear from you if you have any tips to get through the hot, sunny months of
Ooh,
Arizona.
that's good. One of the things that I was thinking about as we were going through all these epic tips here is that there are definitely things that we can get done in the months, like for here it would be summer, but they're winter that we don't really want to be outside. But what are some things that we can get done in this season that we wouldn't want to do because we want to be outside and just doing fun stuff when it's nicer? And so I think I was going to say, some of the stuff that you hit just now, which was like staying connected and taking time to like plan things for the rest of your year, plan for the next year, kind of dream build a little bit. I think that that gives some forward momentum too, that even if you are kind of stuck inside and it kind of, when you envision something that will happen or you're starting to dream build, it kind of uplifts and gets your whole spirit a little happier and a little more excited. I think those endorphins are very good in handling whatever weather situation you're dealing with. Um, Another thing I think for like just feeling warm and cozy, I used to do this a lot. So I used to have an autoimmune disease that would flare during the winter, like every single winter. And so one of the things that was really relaxing and mood boosting was like to take a hot bath and to like read while I was in the bath, like instead of having a phone or watching something, like read. And it's just cozy and you're putting something good in you, and I think that's good. Or like lighting candles, because when you smell something that's pleasant, it's kind of mood boosting as well.
Mhm.
So those were a couple things that I was thinking. I think even if it's gloomy, you can still throw open the windows and you'll still get something. Like, may not be a ton of light, but it's still something. So
Right, yes. No, I love that you said the dream building because like even if even if you are, forward thinking and you don't want to go outside, you can take open your journal
yeah,
and start doing some journaling or like there's tons of journal prompts out there that you can get some ideas or
yeah,
just write down some goals or dreams that you have for the future and even utilize some of the networking time to dream with other
yeah.
entrepreneurs or other friends or family or people that inspire you.
So good. Yeah. And I think having something that you love to do inside probably helps a lot too. Like, um, I'm pretty crafty. I like crafty type things. So, my daughter was selling like jewelry outside. She wanted to, so we were like, let's make this like bigger. So we planned together and came up with a logo and came up with all sorts of things. And then we decided to do like I have some beads, she has some beads. So we did like little competitions between us to see how fast we could do it. Or I challenge you to use these two colors and you have to have five different types of beads, or, just fun stuff like that. That we ended up killing like a couple hours just playing together, really. And we produced something at the end of the day. So it was just that kind of sweet time. Like in the summer or spring, she's not going to be inside doing that at all.
Oh.
Like, so I'm going to take advantage of like my time with her and getting that like time when she is inside. Because while I hate to say this, like it's for us Arizonans, it's actually been cold over here. That's still like in the 50s, which is really pathetic, but it's still been cold. So we've been inside for the most part. And so, yeah, she's been doing that. We've been doing that. But
Yeah, I saw her page on Instagram, so I started clicking like on a couple of her videos.
oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
she is having a good time. She is, so
Yeah, that's great. Well, along with like crafting or being with your family to connect, another great way is to play games.
yeah, so
So, like,
good.
we played when we were all in Arizona together. One night we played Monopoly and
Yeah.
cards, and my husband and I, when we're here on a night where it's either rainy or gloomy or cold, we'll play Scrabble together.
Awesome.
And then the other one is, oh, the game of life. I see it over there. I love the game of life.
We need to get that game.
Yeah, that one's good. And then I think we played Sorry with our friend once. Yeah, that was an interesting game because I remember playing that as a kid, but I haven't played it in many years, so I kind of forgot how to play it. And the first game was just awful. But then, once you get the hang of it, you're like, oh, okay, I remember how to play.
Yeah, I can't remember how to play either.
Yeah,
Like, it's one of those things that you play like at the library with some buddies, like if you go after school or something.
right.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole point of when we were in Arizona together was to get the kids off of their iPads. So, my nephew Jonah, he could be on his phone or his iPad 24 hours a day.
Mm.
And we were like, oh, nope, everyone's putting those aside. So some of us played Monopoly and some played cards, and we probably spent an hour and a half, 2 hours doing that. So no one
That's
was
so
looking at a
good.
screen. It was so
That's
great.
that's like quite a feat too. Like the fact
Yeah.
that you got a couple hours,
Yeah.
that's legit.
So my parents taught him how to play this game. I think we were telling you about it. Three card.
Yeah.
And he was skeptical at first. He was like, I don't want to learn this game. But now he's really good at it. He wants to play.
That's
So that's cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. So now I think all the kids, I don't know if Zoe knows how to play, but um if not, we have to teach her. But two out of the three at least know how to play.
So cool.
Yeah.
I know this kind of defeats the purpose of staying outside of screens, but have you ever seen on like the Ellen DeGeneres show, like the heads up thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And that will help too because sometimes you have to like act certain decks, you have to like act out things. So
Yeah.
you're moving around, getting kind of warmer, and
Yep.
it's hilarious. So
Yeah.
we play that with the kids a lot.
Yeah,
So
that is a fun game.
yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's see. I think that is all I have for today. So yeah, just doing a little recap. I can always put the newsletter that inspired me. I can put the link to that into the comments too, so you can check that out. Because I know there's even more tips on ways to clean up your health in there. But the five
Mhm.
things that I shared today to help with the winter blues are getting into the light, whether you get a light box or a light lamp, or you get outside and you get natural light and fresh air. The second one is feeling comfortable, whether you're putting on comfortable clothes or eating some healthy, delicious, warm soups or stews or a little hot toddy. The third one is eating real food. Fruits and vegetables are best, especially when we want to just eat some junk food and feel comfort food. Choosing more whole foods is best. The fourth one is exercise and move your body every single day. Not only is it good for your mental health, but it's good to keep you nice and warm and toasty from the inside out. And then the fifth one is connection is key, and continue talking with people so you don't get into your head and get that depression that sets in. And of course, like Angela said, taking a warm bath. You could put some Epsom salts in there, light some candles, read a book. We were talking about playing games or cards with your loved ones or family members. Those are all great ways to beat the winter blues. Is there anything else you want to share before we close out?
I don't think so. This is so good. Like,
Awesome. Thanks for being here today.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, I will see you all next month in February, the third Thursday of the month at 12 Central. I messed it up and said 1 Central, but hopefully we'll get back on track and we'll do the third Thursday of the month at 12 p.m. Central. So yeah, until next time, have a good day.
All right,
Bye all.
bye.